Hello, everyone. My name is Craig Adler, and I am a retired certified financial planner. Today's video is about how my car buying decisions added $400,000 to my overall financial security, and also to determine will this strategy work for you. To get started, I would like to introduce you to the three real superstars of today's session, starting with celebrity number one, a 1985 Honda Accord. Celebrity number two is a 1993 Geo Prism. If you are not familiar with a Geo Prism, it is essentially a Toyota Corolla. And the third and final celebrity, the same vehicle I am driving today, is a 2008 Saturn Astra. Now the real question becomes, how did these cars contribute to my overall financial security? To answer that question, we are going to look at the expense of purchasing these vehicles and then compare that to more traditional buying behaviors. The last point I do want to make is this. When I talk about car expense in this video, I am talking about purchase price wholly. Nothing for fuel, maintenance, or insurance. But I do believe that if we included those factors, the difference would even be greater. Let's go ahead and look at some numbers. What we are looking at here is the year that I bought these cars, the description, and the cost. In 1985, I bought a 1985 Honda Accord. That was the only new car that I ever purchased my entire life, and the cost of that vehicle was $10,000. In 1995, I bought a 2-year-old 1993 Geo Prism. The cost of that car was $7,000, plus the sales proceeds when I sold my 1985 Honda Accord. In 2010, I bought a 2008 Saturn Astra, and the cost of that vehicle was $10,000, plus what I was able to sell my Geo Prism for. The total cost of all the cars that I've driven since 1985 works out to $27,000. Now, when we divide that $27,000 by the 40 years that I've been driving, that works out to $675 per year. My guess is some of you have probably spent more than $27,000 on your current car, so you can start to see I have been very frugal with the car buying decisions that I have made. Let's go ahead and compare this to what I call more general or traditional car buying behaviors. This data did not exist, so I had to pull this from a number of different sources. I do feel these assumptions are relatively conservative, and I do feel the takeaway is very accurate. The average new car price that I was able to identify between 1985 and 2024 worked out to $29,000. The average trade-in value during that same time period was $9,500. That means the average new purchase price for that vehicle was $19,500. A typical new car buyer will keep their car for about 71 months or slightly less than 6 years. If we assume that the buyer keeps this car for 6 years at $19,500, that works out to $3,250 per year. Well, now that we know what a traditional buyer was paying for their car and what I've been paying for mine, now it's just some basic math. So the traditional car buyer was paying about $3,250 per year. I was paying $675. That works out to an annual difference or an annual savings of $2,575. If we take $2,575 and save that for 40 years at 6%, that works out to $422,000 was added to my overall retirement plan by the car buying decisions that I have made. I made this video for a number of different reasons. The first is, it just goes to show that incredibly small changes over a long period of time can have a significant impact on our overall financial security. Also, cars are incredibly expensive, so it gives us a great opportunity to save money. And lastly, almost everyone has a car, so I believe this video has near universal application for everyone. But the real question becomes, is this a good strategy for you? Well, I would say that if you care about financial security, and I want everyone to care about financial security, the answer to this question is a resounding yes, at least from a financial perspective. But a more important concern, and the reason why you might struggle with today's strategy is, what are your life priorities? If you care more about image, status, style, and what others think about you, what I suggested today is probably not going to work. And here's the reason why. Did my vehicles have any style? Absolutely not. Did they have any class? None whatsoever. Would you want to borrow my cars to impress your friends, families, or neighbors? That would be the last thing you would ever want to do. Was my car held together with Bondo and duct tape? The answer is absolutely yes. But I didn't care about those things. My priority was I wanted to create financial security. With respect to my vehicles, I wanted reliable transportation that was paid for. It would pass emissions. Those were the important qualities to me. But what really matters are, what are the important qualities for you? And here's the reason why. The reality is, most of us in life, we can have a choice. We can either have material possessions and status, or we can have financial security. It is very few and far between individuals that have both. So the question that you really need to ask yourself is, what is more important to you? Do you want financial security, or do you want status and material possessions? There's certainly nothing wrong with that last choice, but if you expect to have material and financial possessions and financial security both, in my opinion, that's probably more of a fantasy than a reality. In the comments, let me know, would the strategies that I discussed today work for you? Why or why not? Also, if you enjoyed this topic, I have a few other related videos that I would like to share with you. Let me know. I look forward to reading your comments and getting back to everyone as quickly as possible. I hope everyone has a beautiful day, and I look forward to creating some future content for everyone.